Start with the numbers. China now holds over $200 billion in gold reserves. Russia, even more. These are not small moves, they're strategic signals of a global shift. But what's behind this gold buying binge? In short, inflation, sanctions, and a desire to de-dollarize. First, inflation. Gold is the classic hedge. Its value can't be printed, inflated, or manipulated like fiat currencies. In the last year, gold prices have pushed to record highs, driven by central banks hedging against long-term monetary instability. China and Russia are doubling down while others hesitate. Second, sanctions. When Russia faced financial blockades, it lost access to much of its dollar-based reserves. But gold? It can't be frozen by Western banks. It's globally recognized, physically stored, and functionally untouchable. That's why Venezuela, too, tried to repatriate its gold, but learned the hard way what sanctions can do. Russia isn't waiting for history to repeat. It's insulating with bullion. Third, de-dollarization. China is slashing its US Treasury holdings and diversifying aggressively. It's moving into physical assets, alternative bonds, and gold. The share of gold in its reserves has tripled in a few years. Russia, a major gold producer, has converted a third of its total reserves into gold. This isn't just diversification, it's a rejection of dollar dominance. There's another layer: new financial systems. China and Russia are developing gold-based settlement mechanisms to bypass SWIFT and dollar clearing systems. BRICS nations have even floated the idea of a shared gold-pegged currency. Still hypothetical, but real in ambition. And psychologically, the message is loud: we no longer trust the dollar as the world's safe reserve. Central banks across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East are taking notes. A global reserve shakeup is underway. Critics argue gold is non-yielding. But in a world of systemic risk, no yield is better than frozen assets. Central banks want liquidity they control, not access that can be shut off overnight. And there's room to grow. China's gold share, despite massive purchases, is still well below Western powers like the US and Germany. Russia's, while higher, reflects a strategic reallocation, built on lessons from 2022. Zoom out. What we're seeing isn't a fluke. It's a fracture. The dollar's status as the world's reserve is being challenged, quietly and deliberately. Since 2022, central banks have doubled their gold purchases. Emerging powers are leading the charge. Why now? Because trust in fiat is eroding. Because financial infrastructure is no longer neutral. Because in a multipolar world, gold becomes the fallback. It's insurance, leverage, and silent power, all in one. Here's the punchline: every ounce of gold these nations buy is a vote of no confidence in the current system. As debt piles up, trust breaks down, and inflation creeps in, gold doesn't just hold value, it holds power. And that's the shift, from paper promises to tangible sovereignty. Like, subscribe, and share, because the gold rush isn't ancient history. It's happening now. And those who understand it will be 2 steps ahead when fiat cracks again.